What's going on, Legionnaires, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you don't miss any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now, for this video, we're going to be diving into Way of X issue number 3. This will also be part 8 of the Hellfire Gala. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with Way of X or the Hellfire Gala, go ahead and check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything that's been going on. Now, so far in Way of X, we've seen Nightcrawler dealing with a lot of things. Dealing with his religion, dealing with the new laws of Krakoa, and now trying to keep things under wrap as Onslaught is carefully making his plans to attack mutants. And with the help of Legion, Nightcrawler is hoping to bring Onslaught down. So with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, so as we're jumping into this issue, at the Hellfire Gala event, Nightcrawler got completely obliterated drunk. He just got so freaking hammered, and most of the night is a complete blur to him. He remembers little glimpses and images talking to certain individuals. For the most part though, he just went blackout drunk. And Nightcrawler waking up the next morning, realizing how much of a fool he made of himself. And we see him poof his way over to Dr. Nemesis. And completely hungover, he immediately takes his coffee and starts chugging it. And this is where we see the arrival of Legion coming in and letting him know that Dr. Nemesis wasn't the only one to see his shenanigans last night. Because right now, it's kind of the talk of the town. Everybody is talking about how just completely wasted Nightcrawler was. But Nightcrawler, he had a little bit of an excuse to be getting drunk. He didn't want to tell everybody that they're currently being haunted by Onslaught. But Legion tells him to leave Onslaught to him. Then Nightcrawler, he needs to continue focusing on the laws, because people here, they need to feel safe. But it does seem like people are enjoying themselves, and this is where we arrive on Araco, or previously known as Mars, because this is where Nightcrawler ended up at the end of the night. This is where most of the mutants ended up at the end of the night to celebrate the new terraforming. And so Nightcrawler, he begins to focus on the laws, and the first law is to make more mutants. And he has no clue where to start. And Dr. Nemesis tells him that the best logical starting point is to have a lab to be able to do this. Because with the proper lab, you could really do anything. But nothing substitutes good old-fashioned lovemaking to be able to create new mutants. And with that thought, we see Nightcrawler take off. But this is where we pick up with Legion. Now, Pixie has asked Legion for some help, because Loa and Mercury, they're in a relationship and they can't be intimate, because anything Loa touches, it kind of shreds. And so they need help being able to have some kind of intimacy. And being friends with Blindfolds, she knows that Legion can have some kind of intimacy inside of the head, using his powers to create a really unique experience. Now, this is where we pick up with Nightcrawler out and about, and he runs into Stacy X. And right now, she's giving out protection, condoms, and things of that nature, birth control, to keep people from getting pregnant. And of course, Nightcrawler, he wants to find out why. You know, the first law is to make more mutants, and more mutants can't be made if everybody is using protection and not creating babies. But Stacy tells him, like, dude, you just don't start. Like, I heard you were becoming less Catholic, not more Catholic. Last night was one of the biggest parties mutant kind has ever had. Of course, I was handing out contraceptives. But this is when Stacy takes him to what they're calling the Bower. It's a place for people to kind of blow off steam. In the simplest terms, this place is a brothel. And people come here for a multitude of reasons. Some couples just sit here and talk. Others hold hands. Others just lay in bed together. Others are here for some extracurricular activity. And Nightcrawler tells her in an extremely offensive manner, just saying, you know, you built a brothel in the Garden of Eden. And Stacy slaps the crap out of him. And he apologizes to her, but right now he's extremely frustrated. You know, how can he unite all of mutants using laws, and they're told to multiply, but they're just giving away to their empty desires? And Stacy informs him that there is something he needs to see. Before he says anything else, she wants to show him something. Now, picking up with Legion, he decides to put these two into a kind of trance, where their minds will be able to connect on an entirely different level. And he describes it as like a million getting to know you dates all in a single moment, blurring together with no borders, no boundaries, sharing every single little detail about one another. Every hope, every dream, every pleasure, fantasy, and delight. Not only that, but every secret as well. And while they're sitting in this state, one of them starts yelling no. Unsure what is going on, Legion grabs Pixie and they jump into their minds. And as they jump inside the mind, Pixie realizes that they're sharing too much information. But this is what they asked for. Legion told them, you know, this is what's going to happen. Now, they wanted to just have a little bit of fun and have a little bit of intimacy. They didn't want to have to share every single little detail, but there was something not allowing them to stop. That something being Onslaught. And Legion kind of does an exorcism, blasting Onslaught out, because he did all of this to set them up, to figure out exactly where Onslaught had gone, using this as kind of a bait for a psychic monster. And now Legion is going to be able to track this beast all the way back to Krakoa. Now, on Krakoa, we have Nightcrawler and Stacy in what appears to be some kind of nursery. A nursery at this quote-unquote brothel. Now, some of these children had just been abandoned. Others are just dropped off. But all the people that come here, they also make sure they interact with these children. So these children aren't necessarily unloved. There's tons of people that come and just interact with them to make sure that they know that there's people around them. This is truly a real freaking community here. And right now they're averaging about one a week. Some are left outside, some get teleported in, others couples just drop off. And while, you know, Nightcrawler morally has so many issues with all of this, at the end of the day, the first law is being followed. Mutants are multiplying. And what more can you ask for? You can't ask exactly how it's done. You wanted more mutants, and this is exactly how you're getting them. You know, maybe someday there will be some kind of adoption process that the Quiet Council makes up, but until then, this is the best these kids have. This is the first law straight up in action. And this is where we see Lost. Now, Lost is kind of new to Krakoa, but she has found her place in this nursery, taking care of all of these children. Now, while Lost is taking care of all of these babies, we see the arrival of Fabian Cortez just getting his butt kicked. Just being his weirdo self, trying to get people to join the Alkalites. We see something switch in Lost. We see Onslaught start whispering in Lost's ear. And we see Lost completely go berserk and attack Fabian. And we see the two fighting and Fabian get on top of Lost and start choking her out. And then a portal opens up with Legion coming out, letting Onslaught know that he can see him. And we see Onslaught just with a flick of his wrist throw Legion and his team. And Onslaught makes a tactical retreat after Pixie releases her dust. Her sleep dust to put people to sleep. And just like that, this fight is over. So whatever Onslaught is doing, he's being very tactful because he's covering his tracks. Legion, having no idea where he went this time, he decides to go have a drink at the bar. And as they're at the bar a little bit later, they're all sitting down discussing everything that's happened and this first law. You know, Nightcrawler, with his Catholic ways, has had a lot of trouble adjusting to this new world of Krakoa. And the first law states that everybody needs to be multiplying, that you need to make more mutants. And the way that he pictured that isn't necessarily how it's happening. he wants to be able to unite everybody under these laws, and he's trying to kind of force things. And so he's having to stop and look back and just let this nation actually be a nation. People are going to do what they're going to do. Mutants are going to do what they're going to do. He can't stop them no matter how hard he tries. But that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, there wasn't a whole lot going on with Onslaught here. It's kind of a cat and mouse game right now between him and Legion. Legion trying to use individuals on the island as kind of a trap to be able to track him, to see what he's up to and what his overall goal is here. And I like the cockiness of Legion. Legion saying, you know, leave this to me. I don't need anybody's help in being able to find and take down Onslaught. I'm going to do this on my own, letting Nightcrawler really focus on the laws of Krakoa. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.